Example 1 here on cumulative frequency and Boxplots is taking a look at a cumulative frequency graph. So here we're asked to draw a cumulative frequency graph from this data and estimate the interquartile range. So what we've been given here is this following data. So to start with, what we need to do here is add a high point column and a cumulative frequency column to this table. So the high point column here, let's call that HP, denote that as X. And we'll also denote our extra column here. This is the cumulative frequency, which we'll denote as CF, okay? And that's Y. So let's work out each one of these individually. So for the high point here, we just take a look at the class and we take the maximum value of that class. So here, the high point will be 5. So that's 5. For this class, that will be 15. For this one here, that will be 24. So you can see that's not too tricky to evaluate. This one will be 30, and finally 45 there. Okay, for the cumulative frequency, we just add the frequency as we go along. So the first one here is just 10. The next one here is going to be 10 plus 30, so that would give us 40. The next one then is going to be 40 plus 27, that gives us 67. Then we have 67 plus 18, and we just keep going here, so that gives us 85. And then finally 85 plus 15 gives us 100. So we've completed the table that we need now. All we simply do now is plot cumulative frequency against the high point. So here we plot cumulative frequency against high point. And what we can see then is we obtain something like this. So that gives us the graph, our cumulative frequency graph. All we want to do now is estimate the interquartile range. So to estimate the interquartile range then, we draw lines at cumulative frequencies of 25 and 75 here. So that gives us the first quartile here, Q1, and that gives us Q3. And we read off the X values. So we obtain 10 here and 26.5. So therefore, for the IQR then, the interquartile range here, that's going to be Q3, 26.5, minus Q1 then of 10. So 26.5 minus 10, which gives us 16.5 there. Okay, so that gives us our interquartile range. And that gives us the solution to example 1 on cumulative frequency and Boxplots. Example 2 here on cumulative frequency and Boxplots is taking a look at Boxplots. So we're asked to create a Boxplot for the following data that we've been given here, where a point is considered to be an outlier if it is more than the interquartile range, lower than the first quartile, or higher than the third quartile. So what we've got here now is 7 data points. So in that case, to get the first quartile, we do 7 over 4. So this is for Q1. Okay, so this is the first quartile. We do 7 over 4, which gives us 1.75. So the first quartile is the second data point. So we know Q1 here is equal to 9. So that's equal to 9. For the third quartile then, for Q3, we do 3 times 7 and divide that by 4. So 3 times 7 and we divide that by 4. And that gives us 5.25. So the third quartile is the 6th data point. Remember, we round up even if we would normally round down. So that's the 6th data point, which gives us 16 there. Okay, so that's equal to 16. So in that case, the interquartile range is going to be Q3 minus Q1. So the IQR is simply 16 minus 9, and that gives us 7. So points less than 9 minus 7, so points less than 9 minus 7, which is equal to 2, are greater than 16 plus 7. Okay, Q3 plus this value, so 16 plus 7, which is equal to 23. These points, anything greater than these or lower than this here, so lower than 2 or greater than 23 here, will be outliers. So in that case, we can actually just identify one outlier. This is this one here, okay? That's less than 2, so 1 is an outlier. The lowest non-outlier value is 9, and the highest non-outlier value is 18. And finally here, the median is 12. So if we put all of that together, what you should obtain is a box plot that looks like this here. So I just get rid of the ink here, just so you can see clearly. You should get something that looks like this. So notice our outlier here is 1. We've got 9 here at this point. We've got our median at 12. And then we've got this value here at 16. Okay. So that's our Q3, and our highest outlier value is 18. So that gives us everything we need there for example 2 on Boxplots.